Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. I want to show you what I was looking at today. We were at a church function doing a Dirty Santa thing, and it was really cool and had a great time. And I picked a gift, and I could have picked other stuff, but I saw this and I thought this was really interesting because I live in a very rural area where people have been doing canning for generations. Canning, the process of canning and canning and preserving as we know it have probably been around only for about 200 years. Yeah, 22. Yeah, I mean, it's a fairly new science in the history of food preparation. I'll say 150 years, something like that. Started out with, people would jar things and then you would pour paraffin wax over the top of it and keep it cool and everything. About half of the stuff that you did would spoil, and then the other half, they did not know exactly what was going on, but they knew if you ate it, you would get really sick and you'd die. The botulism, the toxin, and it's actually the waste product, the botulism toxin that's excreted, and all that good stuff. It will kill you if you do not process stuff correctly. And this is really cool and this is interesting. I'm not complaining or knocking anybody or anything that they had for Christmas. This might have been something that all they could have done, but this is really interesting. I saw it and I was like, holy cow, I've never seen this. And I had eaten and preserved stuff when I was 4. I remember 4 and 5 years old helping my grandparents and my parents can food. And so we would get together with neighbors and everybody would can and pressure can and do all that stuff and water bath can. I had never seen corn canned on the cob. Didn't know you could do it. Turns out USDA says you can't. Says it is not a proper way to preserve it. And I think we're going to open this up in just a minute and we're going to see perhaps it had been stored in vinegar or some sort of brine, and maybe a fermented something like that. Has nothing on the name of the jar, and also got something else that I'm not as concerned with. These are green beans that have been canned, and it has KW on it, something like that. There's no date or anything like that. They have been preserved and stored with the rings on, and they are on. So that's not ideal. I know people do it. I used to do that also. Now I know people disregard a lot of stuff that these books, these ball canning books. Hang on. These are some of the ones that I have and that I go by. There's a Ball complete book of home canning and preserving with a bunch of recipes. The all new Ball book of canning and preserving. These are good ones. I got books on fermenting and how to do it, traditional smoking, stuff like that. And then this is the old favorite. You'll see that this one I have had for a very long time, and it has been dog-eared, literally. Dogs chewed on it and, dropped in the water and all kinds of stuff, left outside. I've gone through all of these and looked and seen to see if I was wrong. And I also asked my phone, and she said no too. Very interesting. I know people have done this kind of stuff for generations and it has not hurt them. I know people who can butter, pressure can it. Says you're not supposed to because it's a fat. But I know people who have done it and eaten it for years. I'm not saying, oh my God, how can you have done this? But I just find it very, very interesting. Holy cow, that thing is on there good. Now, I'm going to pause this and we're going to take a look. And then we'll come right back. More to come. Okay, we are back, and I am not going to eat it. It did have a good seal on it, and we're going to see the top, you can see, was stored out of the liquid, and so it has actually turned brown and got something growing on it. But I'm just curious. I mean, I'm not hating on it. It's an interesting way to do it. And one thing was, I was going to show this to you and say you need to be careful when you're doing this. And then I want to ask you guys, do you know? No, it's not. It hasn't been pickled or fermented or anything like that. It's just been packed in hot. I guess it was packed in water and stored. But have you guys had any experiences with corn canned, water bath canned, on the cob? So that's the big thing. And like I said, I've looked in the books and I looked online, and I cannot find a safe way. Actually, I can't find a way at all to do it. It's not even that says this is, you know, an unusual way. And I know there's, like I said, there's Facebook groups. They call them, oh gosh, underground canning and all that stuff. I can't find it. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. It does not smell foul, but I'm not going to eat it. And just because I don't want to, you know, get sick over a jar of corn. Take care of your people. Now, one thing I did want to mention, this is a holiday season and people are going to be giving stuff back and forth to each other, and some people give jars of this as gifts. We do on occasion as well. The first thing I do when I tell somebody or show them this and say, here, I got this for you, I tell them these were water bath canned to USDA or pressure canned, whatever, to USDA specifications. And I washed my hands and my kitchen was clean whenever I prepared this. Because people need to be kind of leery when you are giving out certain things like this. There's actually stories of the Romans who would leave honey in pots that had been, that poisonous flowers had been pollinated by the bees, and they had made poisonous honey, and it would make people sick and kill them. So, not that anybody would do anything nefarious to you on purpose, but you just don't want to get sick over something like this. Now, we're gone. Take care of you people.